Well, we got lots of stuff going on. We got COVID and cases on the rise. Was just looking at that. What's the figure there, Will? 7,000?
Yeah, a little over 7,000 over the 3-day weekend.
Okay. I don't remember it ever being 7,000 even over a 3-day period, right? So that's 3 days of very or a 3-day period with very high counts. So we got that going on.
Yes, sir.
And we got hurricanes spinning around.
Yeah, we've got them all around us. We've got one below us, Grace. It looks like it's going to go to Mexico, possibly the lower part of Texas, maybe some impact. And then we've got what I call as Mississippi East. Alabama and Florida are gonna actually get some action out of Fred.
Gotcha. But we were just talking before we came on the air. It looks like it's kind of fizzling out, not to be too much of a threat in terms of storm surge and wind at this point. Moving fast, as you said.
Yeah, it's moving a little bit fast, but the biggest thing is for Florida is that rain count. I mean, they're going to get 7, 8, 9 inches in some areas, and that's tremendous for them to have to deal with, for sure.
Yeah. All right, and then Grace, right behind it, looks like it's just going to sprint straight across the Gulf, almost paralleling our coast, and head into Mexico and Texas.
Yeah, and the worst impact it's really going to have is country Haiti. They've of course had that 7.2 magnitude, and of course we were all involved in some sort of response back in the day on that one, and 10 years ago. And that's not good for them, coming right on the heels of that earthquake. But it does seem like it's just going to run westerly, parallel. It doesn't look to go north or south, just straight across.
Well, what are the weather experts saying about? I mean, this is really kind of when it seems to always get cranked up in Mississippi in August and September. Certainly the first half of September. So we're sort of in the midst of, I think, the riskiest part of the season. What's the outlook at this point?
Absolutely, we're about 12 days away. The 28th Katrina anniversary is coming right up on a Saturday in this month, and you look at anywhere from right now to that October time frame. That is our real peak here in the state of Mississippi. We got some stragglers that like to come on late in the year, but we're second quarter, halftime's not here. I mean, it is really ramping up.
And, of course, Camille was an August event as well, right?
Exactly. I mean, that is usually Mississippi's worst. We've dodged a few this year, but we definitely all the way, we're prepared. Everything's on standby, and we're sitting here ready all the way through October, just for hurricanes, of course. Mississippi, hang around. You get a tornado every now and then as well, so we're prepared and ready.
So what does that mean exactly, Director, when you say we're ready? What does that mean in the context of the agency? We
start months ago, and we start having our meeting with our regional response teams. They're made up out of local firefighters, so we prepare the district in the northern part of the state, those regional response teams, as we put those together, boat teams, high water vehicles, making sure we've got all those ready. And so those teams prepare themselves, and they know what the season is. And then we go we start having our meeting with our area coordinators and our districts on the coast. So we start with the lower 6 counties. One district is 9, then 8 and 7. We work ourselves way up, almost past Hattiesburg, because when you start having a tropical storm or hurricane come into the Gulf Coast, all the traffic is coming to Hub City. Yeah. It is coming to right there. Everybody takes an exit. So we have to ramp up police patrols, augment down there, as well as ambulances and others. So you almost have a moving stadium of football fans that goes directly into a city and just take over.
I got you.
So they go as little north as they can. We try to push them even further.
So it's fair to say you're staging people, human resources, physical assets, and then you're orchestrating that if need be.
Absolutely. We've got a plan that's been written. It's been tested. We're very good at it in the state. Unfortunately, I call this region from FEMA. It is the Southeastern Conference of Disasters. Hang around in Mississippi, we pretty much lead the way on being able to deal with any of those that come through.
Yeah. All right, and so when an event happens and you start mobilizing, such as evacuation in the event of a hurricane, are you in regular contact with the governor and the governor's office when that happens?
Absolutely. We started this conversation with him probably about 8 days ago. I sent him the first message and said, I've got this one. I'm watching. It turned out to be Tropical Storm Fred.
Yeah.
I said, here's the current projections. here's the readiness of the state, here's what the Department of Transportation has, DPS, et cetera, all those state agencies. And when we activate the State Emergency Operations Center, we're the coordinator. We set up in front of the orchestra, and we coordinate timing on all of those different entities that we might need. You know,
during Katrina, one of the things that was a problem was all the independent and the disparate communication systems used by emergency management, law enforcement, et cetera. And it was difficult. You saw some of those folks, 3 or 4 different devices hanging on them. A lot of that, I was in that industry, a lot of that's actually been addressed.
Well, we have. I was with the team back then, the civil support team, a military one that was developed by the National Guard full time, and we came out with a communications rig, and then we essentially asked the Pentagon, send us other rigs like us, and let's set up the hub and spoke. Now, what is great is interoperability communications. Right. The MISWIN system that we have now, I've got one handheld radio, and I can switch to individual sheriff's departments. We can get on an all-call channel. I can put search and rescue in one county on one channel. I can put another search and rescue in another county on another channel. We can still monitor, and then they're just not clogging the net up, and nobody can talk. And you're right. I was involved in carrying 3 radios at any given time, and all right, which one's going off, or what channel are they on? Who is this? So the state of Mississippi's done a great job with that. Responded to the oil spill, and I was able to talk from the actual derrick of the Horizon to the governor at that time, who was in Yazoo City. I mean, just like we were just standing right across from each other. Yeah. So Mississippi invested in that, and other states want to know how we did it, and we continue to improve that system. The Wireless Commission does a great job maintaining that and getting local entities, come to this system. We've got it. We're going to maintain it for you, and we're going to be there. So, right, the interoperability, of course, was key, and we learned a lot from Katrina. I remember this being in the industry where the folks that produce all those sorts of technologies, in fact, got busy and started inventing, honestly. Absolutely. And addressing the interoperability concerns. We had lots of customers in New Orleans as well that I just remember having to try to spin them up using all sorts of satellite communications and crazy stuff like that. And the networks are much more resilient than they ever were, so that we're likely not to lose connectivity. So another key, just a small thing that we did, Mississippi's covered by 4 different weather services. We covered out of Memphis, we're covered out of Jackson, we're covered out of Louisiana, and then also Mobile. Well, guess what? Each one of those weather services has a MISWIN radio with them that they can put out a warning of a tornado directly, and that county EM director is going to hear it. So we've learned lessons. We've gotten a lot better, and I think that will continue. Before we go here, I want to ask you that this bid that you just recently administered that involves receiving resources from the federal government, I believe, right, to come in and kind of help us with this surge of the Delta variant. Yeah, we've got a couple of military / Department of Defense and federal government teams that are coming in, going to set up some of the antibody programs that we've got in the state. Of course, Samaritan's Purse has volunteered to come in. That's another 50-bed hospital. So we've got essentially 2 50-bed field hospitals set up at UMMC, a great partner in this pandemic that we've had. And so the Department of Health polled and looked at about 73 hospitals in the state and looked at, so what do you need to bring on more ICUs, more medical surge beds, et cetera. And that number comes to about almost 1,300 medical professionals that the state of Mississippi just does not have. So what we devised is, with the Department of Health, we put out a bid, and we've got about 19 entities that have submitted bids in that they can provide doctors, nurses, et cetera. Okay, you're going to be awarded that, or because you just received them, right? We just received those. We're racking and stacking them right now, and looking at the needs at the individual hospitals, and we're getting ready. This week's going to be it. All right, got it. Well, and so will they be deployed then to the hospitals? Is that the idea? Yes, sir. Take over existing hospitals, have existing beds, existing ICUs. We're going to plus them up. And federally funded as well, right? That is correct. Appreciate you coming in today, Director. Absolutely. Great job your agency does, and we'll talk soon, and we'll try to keep these hurricanes out in the Gulf.